Hello, hello, hello. Today I am here. I am talking with Victoria, and we are going to be talking all about rising above the chaos and drama. I know so many of us can relate to this. This is going to be so much fun, so much inspiration, some nuggets of information is going to be dropped here. So make sure you come in, sit down, have some fun. For those of you that don't know me, I am Sabrina Victoria. I am the host here at Her Talk Show. If you have not already subscribed, today is a good day to subscribe. So these podcasts are guaranteed to have you thinking differently about life and business. Let's jump right in.
Get ready, because today's guest is about to change the way you view your world. This is Her Talk Show, hosted by Sabrina Victoria.
Awesome. For those of you already jumping on the live, thank you so much for being here. If you are listening on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay wherever you're at so we can send you some love. Listen, we've had over 600 women grace this stage. We are adding another one to the list today. Victoria is a trusted advisor to first-time CEOs and the founder of Heart and Soul CEO. She is a natural facilitator, mediator, and systematic relational thinker who brings a human-centered approach to business. As the oldest of five in a super dysfunctional family, another of her natural gifts is to bring calm and clarity to crazy and chaotic situations. She also is really good with boundaries. Super excited to have Victoria here. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Sabrina. It is so delightful to be here. And I love the fact that your middle name and my first name are the same.
Yes, it's a nice flow on the screen there.
Right? It really is.
I love it. Well, I'm super excited about this. I know that there are so many people all over the world that can relate to this, whether it's in their home environment, work environment, right? Friend environment. Sometimes we have areas in our world, sometimes there's multiple, where there just seems to be so much chaos, so much drama.
There really is. There really is. And the one thing that people forget is that we can't truly compartmentalize our life, right? Is like at work, the chaos that you experience at home will impact you at work. The chaos and drama you experience at work will impact you at home. It'll impact you in ways that you don't even realize that it will. It just is. And when we can navigate the chaos and the drama, it makes it a lot easier for everything to go a lot smoother. Is life easy? No. But it adds an ease and grace to it when you know what you're in and how to work with it.
Absolutely. So how did you fall into this realm? I assume from the intro, there was some chaos.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of chaos and chaotic. My mother was extremely young. And so without going into everything, there was always chaos. There was always drama. I had siblings and my father in the hospital all the time. So when you have medical things going on and you have an extremely young parent, the world is chaos because we don't typically move through chaos and drama in life until we're in our mid to late 20s. And some people never do, right? Because it becomes the norm. And so with that, I was the one that was calming things down between my parents and my siblings and between my siblings. And then it just carried over into my adult life. And it's one of my natural gifts is to be able to help bring people into a place where they can actually rise above the chaos. They can change the culture of their company. They can change the culture of their home just through learning how to navigate that chaos and drama in a successful way that doesn't have a negative ripple impact.
It sounds like maybe you innately were able to kind of navigate through this.
That's very true. I was. So I can teach people how to do it, even though it's part of my innate abilities. In my work, I use human design. And that is actually part of my human design, is to bring the calm to the chaos and drama. And if we look at the law of polarity, the universal law of polarity, I also have the ability to bring the chaos and drama. Okay, so in my design, I can do one or the other. There's really not a gray area. So when I was learning about my own human design, it was like, oh, you can bring calm. I can walk into a room that's in chaos and bring calm just by my presence and then help. All right. I can also walk into a calm room, and if I'm not calm, I can bring chaos and drama into that room. So I can be on either side of the fence. I choose to be in the calm and navigate the chaos and drama because that's where I can make the greatest impact.
Absolutely. So first of all, human design, for those that don't know what that even is, can we talk about that for a moment?
Yes, human design was created in 1983 by a gentleman named Haru. I can't pronounce the last name very well, but we all have main different types, and it's more on how we're designed energetically and physically in the world. We all have a different design that we come in with, and part of being authentic in the world is living by our human design and understanding it. The thing is most of us live contrary to our human design, which brings chaos, struggle, and drama.
So what's an example of
okay,
is yours actually called chaos and drama?
No, it's just one part of my design. Okay, it's just one small piece of my design. I'll go into it. Let me know if I go too far, but there are basically 4 types of human design. People are designed, they're either a manifestor, they're a generator, they're a projector, or a reflector. Okay, and a manifestor is someone who can go out into the world. They bring some new information in. They're the ones where you have, where did that idea come from? It didn't have anything to do with what exists. It's totally new. And within there's all sorts of variations. And then the generator, there are 2 types of generators. There's the manifesting generator, and there is the regular generator. And both of them are builders. In the world of business, they're builders. If we look back in time and we look at the days of the kings and the queens and everything like that, the manifestor would be the king. Okay. The builders would be the architects and the people working on building a castle or creating stuff. Builders are makers. Okay, so that's kind of a realm in which to put it. And a projector is the next person. They take in information, synthesize it down into really clear bites, and they fall into the role of advisor. They would have been the advisors to the kings. Okay. And the reflector is on a whole different level. They actually operate by moon cycles. And so they reflect the health of the community that they're within, right? So if they're in a super dysfunctional family, they will be really sick and not very healthy. There's all sorts of things that happen. And each of those types have a very different breakout of themselves. And so it's a complex system to look at, and really takes looking at it in depth. But you can look it up at Jovian, Jovian, archive, archive.com. That is the official website of human design.
Beautiful. Wow, that's interesting.
It's a fascinating science. I do teach it to my clients in a little more depth than what I just went through here. I've got slides. It's a whole lot. but it's a great way to make sure and look at who you are authentically. It's one of the things, it's one of the pieces I use with my clients.
What are humans? What are the majority of humans? Do the majority of us fall into one area, or is it like a split?
Yeah, 70% of humans are generators. All right. 35 are manifesting generators, and 35% are regular generators. And manifesting generators, the only difference between them and a generator is they can often skip steps and move things along faster once they've decided on an opportunity that they're going to go forward with, where a generator is more step by step by step.
Wow. That's so interesting. Very, very cool. So, through the human design, you are creating a path for individuals to rise above the chaos and the drama within their world.
Yes. So we get an understanding of themselves, right? So once you have, there's multiple layers, and part of moving through chaos and drama is understanding yourself and where you might be showing up that's counter to that inner who you are, right?
Yeah.
And when we're not operating true to ourselves, we'll bring chaos and drama. But the biggest thing is a lot of times chaos and drama in our approach to it has been programmed into us, which is counter to our human design, because it comes from the environment that we grew up in. It really does. Our approach to it comes from there, whether we ignore it or whether we don't have it or whether we really bring it into our lives. Because there was one thing I saw on social media a long time ago while I was still navigating through my personal chaos and drama, was that with drama, you either create it or you invite it into your life, because we can choose not to be part of it or participate in it. But a lot of people do.
Oh, okay. So if you have drama, you are either creating it or allowing it.
Exactly.
Okay. And that's where the word boundaries comes in.
It is. It is. And it's all boundaries, and also being at a place to recognize that you're inviting it or you're allowing it, and how you want to choose to deal with it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't show up, but if you have a good boundary around it, you, like when you're a business owner and you've got team members that are having drama, you can get sucked into it. That's a choice. A boundary means you can help them to navigate it and dispel it. But it really comes from taking responsibility for having it in your life.
Wow. Yes. I've never really even thought of it that way, but that is so true. You're either creating it or like inviting it. So, and it's not that it's not there, but creating boundaries around that. That is just such a powerful way of visualizing it.
It really is. And one of the ways people invite the drama in, which creates the chaos in your life, is by watching shows on TV that are about drama. Because if you're watching reality TV shows that have a ton of drama, and you don't call it out and say, that's interesting drama or whatever, you're literally bringing the energy of drama. That's one way you invite it in, is by getting sucked into all the shows that are really focused on that. It is just amazing, because the majority of TV shows that people watch, the real life housewives or whatever you want to call it, you see previews for that stuff on Netflix and whatever, everywhere. But if you watch that, that invites drama into your own life.
Yeah.
People are attracted to drama.
Yeah.
You can get so sucked in.
100%. Yeah, it is everywhere. There's even a real estate show that I've been watching called Selling the OC or something like that. And it's all about real estate. And yeah, there's this whole, it's like two storylines. There's like a real estate business storyline of like tangible
Exactly.
stuff. And then there's a whole nother storyline of all this drama with all the real estate brokers, or all the real estate agents, I'm sorry. And
Exactly. And if
yeah,
you can consciously acknowledge that, oh, that's interesting, they're having a lot of drama, and not get sucked into the drama,
yeah,
right? Because shows are made for us to get sucked into in a lot of ways. And if you can get the information you want out of the show without getting sucked into the drama, you're going to not have as much drama and chaos in your life.
yeah. So how does somebody lead with more integrity or more grace versus flying off the handle and joining in?
The first thing is to really recognize that it's here for you. It's a mirror. It shows you that you have a perspective about something. If you're feeling emotional around it, you're going to get sucked in because you have that emotion. So, you know that old saying, before you say anything, count to 10?
Mm,
It really is about taking a breath and taking some time to reflect. Because if you're responsible for inviting it in or creating it, what's the truth about this drama that's showing up? You've
yeah.
got to ask yourself that. It's about developing a self-awareness and then being able to reimagine, what's another perspective I could take on this? How do I need to shift my mindset around this? Because it's really, the first thing is there's a way you've been programmed. You have a perspective. Drama means something to you. The chaos means something to you, or it wouldn't have an emotional effect on you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. And what a great great thing to be working on all the time, but the thing that's coming to me is just children. You
Right?
know, like to start working on this when you have children.
Oh,
Work
absolutely.
on it before you have children, but like if you have children in the house, because they're like seeping all that up, that drama.
They are. Well, and especially teenagers, right? My
Yeah.
youngest just is turning 21, and she is 21, she'll be 22. And there's still a lot of drama in her life, but the teen years bring tons of drama, right? And they want to bring you into it because if they're in an emotional state, especially girls,
Yeah.
they will vomit all of it on you.
Yeah.
Okay. And kids get caught in their drama as well when they're smaller. But the biggest thing you have to remember is, when you have kids, is this isn't about you.
Yeah.
And if it triggers you, it's about you. And that's where you've got to look to do your own work. Because if you do your own work, you don't react, you respond versus reacting.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Yes, respond versus react. What are we supposed to be doing with our, I say that so aggressively, but what are we supposed to be doing with our little girls who are 14, 15 years old and coming home with all this drama? Are we supposed to allow that just to be and listen? Or are we supposed to be teaching them how to stay grounded and centered, even though it's not necessarily aligned with how all the other little girls are doing things?
It's a fine dance because we're not in control of our child, and we're not in control of anybody else. And all we can do, one is stay centered, two is listen, three is ask questions. Ask questions that help them think and help them be grounded, right? And sometimes you can't help them when they're in a state because they can't hear anything when they're in a dramatic state, but it does. And the earlier you can start acknowledging who they are and asking them questions and allowing them to make their own decisions, the easier it is for them as they go through, because it's easier for them to make decisions. But one of the biggest things, it's when your children are little, and I've made all sorts of mistakes along the way. So I've parented for a very long time. There's a lot of distance between my youngest and my oldest. And so the thing that I know for a fact is that we have to acknowledge the child for who they are and not shut them down. Okay, as adults, it's easier to say and make the choices for them, even about their clothes. Make the choices for them. Tell them to be quiet, because it's easier to handle a child that's quiet and not expressing themselves than it is one who's expressing themselves, especially if it's not in your time frame. It was yesterday. It was so cute. We were at the mall and doing our walk because it was really cold here. I live in Colorado. So we had snow and we like to get 10,000 steps. So we were in the mall and there was a little girl who was just making noise. She was probably 3 and she was just using her voice. She wasn't saying anything that was of any consequence or anything like that. She was just making noise. And she was just listening to her voice and putting it out there. And her mom was doing a great job, because her mom just walking down the road smiling, and we smiled. And nobody tried to calm and quiet the girl. She was just having fun expressing her voice. And that's one way. So many, it's like, get off the furniture. Don't do this. Don't do that. That's how we shut kids down. And then they're looking for, as they get older, they're looking for a way to be part of something else. So that's how we deal with it with the kids. We got to start as early as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And don't make yourself wrong. So a lot of times parents will come down hard on their kids and not allow natural consequences to take effect when kids make mistakes and making the mistake wrong. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. I've been drinking the whole time. Did you just say natural consequences?
Mm-hmm.
What is a natural consequence?
Well, a natural consequence. Okay, I'll tell you a story. When I was 12, my girlfriend and I had a field trip on a Saturday with our class. We were going to go to the baseball game. I grew up in Minnesota. So, but it got canceled because it got rained out. So we didn't go. But my aunt and uncle lived out close to where the baseball stadium was. For some reason, my friend and I decided we were going to walk, however far it was, which was quite a distance, to my aunt and uncle's. All right. Well, that was a long, hard walk. We were safe, but we walked. We got to my aunt and uncle's. This was before there were cell phones, so nobody knew where we were. And I was tired, concerned that what my mom was going to say, what my dad was going to say, and everything like that. So we get to my aunt and uncle's, call my mom and dad, and they came and got us and took us home. And that was, just knowing that I did something that I wasn't supposed to do, having to deal with the physical part of walking a distance that wasn't normal, all of that, and just the situation, I got no grounding. I didn't get anything, right? I was not punished for it. It's one of the best things my parents ever did. My girlfriend, she was grounded for doing that. So the natural consequence was what goes on in your own head and all of the physical things around it. Why would she need to get grounded after that? right? So that's the difference between a punishment and a natural consequence.
Got it. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. I could almost liken that to like people whose children get a detention and then they also get grounded.
Yeah. It's
It's like
like,
you already served the punishment. The punishment was the detention, but then the parents put another punishment on top, which, who, whatever. But to what your point is here, there was already a natural consequence. So just
yeah.
allow that to be the consequence. And then,
Yeah, and then you help them. So they got a detention. Why did they get a detention? What were they looking for? What was a child doesn't get detention because they're really trying to get detention. They get detention because there's something that they need. There's something that they want to be seen, right? There's something missing. There's something there for them. It's about helping them to find that. Sometimes it's just they need attention.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to ask for it.
Yeah. Absolutely. This has been great. We have a ton of people watching live. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. But Victoria, I would love to have you, obviously we're getting a really good idea of, what you do, but if you could tell us exactly what you do, exactly who you help, who should be reaching out to you?
So like you said, like earlier, it was trusted advisors. I also love to give help. I'm a trusted advisor to first-time CEOs. These are entrepreneurs who have said they're in the CEO role, but haven't been a CEO. So in my business, and I help them to really step into becoming a CEO with their building the right leadership team, the right culture, so that they can thrive and their business can thrive. And we work on chaos and drama a lot. Usually that's some of the first stuff we work on, just because we help it. We've got to calm it down before we can really get some foundations in place. Totally. And I'm also always happy to, touch base with people who are experiencing chaos and drama. Maybe they're not a first-time CEO. Maybe they're a parent who's an employee. But are you having a problem? I'm happy to be a resource to refer you to other resources that can help as well.
Awesome. Awesome. And for those that want to learn more about you, those that maybe want to follow you, where are you on social media? What's your website?
My website is www.heartandsoulceo.com, and heart is spelled like your heart and soul is spelled like your soul. And they can also find me on LinkedIn, Victoria Lynne Hannu, and on Facebook and Instagram. Well, Instagram, it's at Heart and Soul CEO. If you use my name, you can also find me by that. All my links are Victoria Lynne Hannu.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then for those of you watching live or on the replay, her website is in a clickable link in the description below. So you can always click that also, or just take a screenshot and it's on the screen here. I so appreciate this, Victoria. Some great information. I took some awesome notes of just some great value and some great nuggets that you dropped here for those that are in the middle of this challenge, in the middle of this journey right now, whether it's family, whether it's work, friends, we see this everywhere. So great insight.
Thank you. And it's been a pleasure to be of service, because chaos and drama gets everybody caught up so much. And it is what keeps us, literally, the expression of it keeps us from thriving.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts as we wrap up here?
Yeah, just know that you can move through chaos and drama when it shows up. And what is it teaching you? And what is yours and what's not yours?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Emphasis on that. Yeah. What's yours and what's not yours, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Victoria. This has been absolutely phenomenal. That brings us to an end of yet another incredible episode of Her Talk Show. Thank you for your wisdom, for inspiring us. To our dedicated listeners who are here to the very end, as always, thank you. Remember to follow, like, and share. Once again, I am your host, Sabrina Victoria, and I invite you to join our amazing community, Her Nation, where we continue to uplift each other by having conversations just like this.